Let's start with the obvious. Iron Lung isn't going to be for everybody. But if this sort of game is your jam, then you will absolutely love it, I guarantee. Iron Lung is a short, atmospheric horror game where you blindly navigate a submarine through an ocean of blood. When I say blindly, I mean this title screen is your only time seeing the surface. The rest of the game is spent trapped inside the sub, only seeing outside through the lens of this black and white camera. You'll be using only the map and these basic instruments to navigating your way to designated spots of interest, snapping a pic of what's there, and then moving on. That about sums up the game in its entirety. Like I said, short. It's all about that feeling of dread and anxiety you get from being trapped with nothing you can do but to continue to move forward. As you explore deeper and deeper, pipes will begin to burst, your oxygen will deplete, and you'll begin to question how solid these walls actually are. As you can imagine with a game like this, sound design is key, and Iron Lung knocks it out of the park. The soundtrack's very light, just kind of haunting there in the background for most of the game, mixing into the creaks and moans of your iron casket. But as the fear ramps up more and more, troubling noises join that ambience. The hiss of steam from broken pipes remains constant through the game. And your ship also has a proximity sensor, so you get those really tense, alien-like moments of knowing something's out there without having any idea what. But I'll say up front, the gameplay does not change from the start. You'll use the map, line up the point, progress to the position, snap the pic, repeat. That being said, I did find this navigation to be pretty fun and surprisingly engaging, but I'm also someone who likes this sort of thing in games. Reading charts, knobs, buttons, let me convert this to that. It's fun. I think Iron Lung might just be that second strand type game we've been waiting for. If anything was disappointing me, I would actually say I wanted more of this aspect. I thought more knobs and levers and things you had to manage would slowly grow in complexity, but maybe I'm describing a different game now. There are a few surprises along the way, but the game only clocks in a little over an hour, so to spoil a little is to spoil a lot. I would definitely recommend playing this in one single sitting. Its theme of mounting anxiety only really works and ramps up properly if you play it from start to finish, with no breaks in the middle. Iron Lung comes from Dave Szymanski, I've always wondered how to pronounce that, and represents a bit of a return to form for him. For those unaware, David is also best known as Dusk Dev, after his smash hit Dusk. Dusk pretty much became the poster child for the retro revival shooter movement, but before he made Dusk, he made almost exclusively these kind of slower moving atmospheric horror games. I think if you're coming into this thinking, oh man, the guy that made Dusk made a new game, you might be disappointed. If you're thinking, oh man, the guy that made Music Machine made a new game, you're probably going to enjoy yourself. That's not to say you have to be a die-hard itch.io horror game fan to be into this. I'm certainly not, and I had a great time. I mean, look, I was able to pull myself away from Elden Ring for an hour and a half to beat this. That is very high praise. That's it for my review, but I guess I'll do a little channel message thing here since my last video actually destroyed every metric YouTube will metric for me. This is my channel. I do this as a hobby, and at that, like, number 5 on my hobby list behind actually playing games and not talking about them. So don't, clearly you've seen the time between uploads. Don't expect frequent things. Don't expect long things of quality. Maybe one day if I feel like it. But hey, maybe it's a plus. I'm not going to be uploading every day, spamming your inbox with algorithm bait. But if you want to occasionally see a video about an indie game that seems cool, or maybe a video about Degrassi, I kind of want to talk about Degrassi, stick around. So excitingly, I actually get to put disclosure here. I did get a free review copy for this. Exciting to be considered large enough. At less than 1,000 subscribers, I am now officially the press. I now get to be corrupt. Except for I'm not corrupt about this, because I would have shilled anyway. If you're a fan of the indie scene, then you should check out David Szymanski's other work. Follow him on Twitter. He retweets and signal boosts a lot of smaller games. A lot of how I found some cool stuff, honestly.